Okay, let's talk about zoning. We have the familiar tools returning, which are the fill tool, which fills the entire continuous zone with the selected zone type. Then we have the marquee tool, where you can select these rectangular areas and just plop a little zone there. You can also have the paint tool, which you can use to basically paint cell by cell to make the zones exactly the way you want.
Compared to CS1, in CS2 the dezoning tool is added to your mouse and it's the right click on your mouse, so it's not a separate tool anymore.
You can even zone over existing zones. At release in City Skylines will feature two architectural styles, North American and European. These styles include zoned buildings, service vehicles, road markings, and roadside props.
In the first game, there were only two residential zone types. In the second game, we are introducing third level, medium.
We have medium density row housing, medium density apartment buildings, mixed housing with shops at the bottom and apartments at the top, as well as low-rent housing.
Low-rent housings are bigger buildings with small apartments. People who are living in these kind of buildings are students, young adults who have just moved out, or singles.
Mixed housing is a new zone type in City Skylines II. It answers the demand for low commercial and medium density residential. These apartments are good for saving space because they have both the shops and the apartments.
The shop at the bottom of the building pays rent, so the residents of the building doesn't have to pay that much.
The mixed housing buildings have the separate section for shops and apartments, and they can mix and match to create a large variety of combinations. The zoned industry has two categories of buildings. Most of the buildings are manufacturing companies, but there are also warehouses where these companies can store their produced goods before they are sent further into the commercial sector or other manufacturing companies or outside connections. In City Skylines 2, we have overhauled and improved on the zoning demand calculations. We have great tools for you to understand how to zone better. The system is now more complex, but not complicated. The game has a new feature called City Specialization Bonus. This means that companies working on same materials and producing similar goods, when placed in close proximity, these companies gain an increase in efficiency, which in turn increases their productivity and profit. In City Skylines 2, land value system has been overhauled. This time, it's the citizens and companies that decide which areas are desirable in your city. And it is your job to provide them with the services and opportunities they need to live prosperous lives. The zoning tool also introduces zoning overlay. This includes information for the different zone types, where to zone them and which places are not maybe the best places for them to be in. A new feature in City Skylines are the signature buildings. These are unique, ploppable zone buildings that decrease the demand of the zone type they are in. These buildings are unlockable. They usually have 2 to 3 different requirements before they are unlocked. In addition to contributing to the zone demand, they also have positive effects to their neighborhoods as well as the city as a whole.